Desmo sale giữa tháng, hợp chất chính hãng, free ship toàn quốc không đồng. Chốt đơn ngay.
Phủ nắng nóng chói chang, cùng La Vie về rừng mát mơ màng, ngột ngạt chờ đèn đỏ.
주심 고형주, 제1부심 지승민, 제2부심 양재현, 대기심 김대영, 경기감독관 나승화, 심판평가관 김정식, VAR 매우영, AVAR 윤재현, 이상 8분이 수고해 주시겠습니다. 관중 여러분, 오늘의 승리를 위해 MG와 함께 승리 찬사를 외쳐주시기 바랍니다.
선수들한테 정말 감사하게 생각하고 또 그 전 경기에 이기지 못해서 선수들이 체력적으로 힘들었고 또 정신적으로 힘들었는데 5대 0으로는 기분 좋은 대승을 했기 때문에 좀 더 선수들이 컨디션이 좋아졌고 또 분위기도 좋아졌기 때문에 오늘 경기도 좋은 기운으로 좋은 결과 얻어낼 수 있을 거라 그렇게 기대가 됩니다. 군대 가기 전에는 조금 볼 터치라든지 볼 컨트롤에서 조금 힘이 붙이는 경우가 있었는데 그런 부분에서 제대 후에는 좀 더 세밀해지지 않았나 생각하고 그런 효과가 저희들 미드필드나 윙포드들에게 공간이 좀 열리고 있고 그런 부분이 대구전에 나타났다고 그렇게 생각합니다. 또 외국인 선수 바로 선수가 지금 컨디션이 좋기 때문에 지난번 멀티골도 넣었고요. 오늘 경기에 좀 이어갔으면 좋겠고 후반에 또 구스타보가 나오면 또 성남전에 강하기 때문에 좋은 경기 할 수 있을 거라 그렇게 생각이 됩니다.
축구는 실수로 시작해서 실수로 끝나는 스포츠여서요. 저희가 그날 실수가 많았지만 오늘 경기는 상대 실수를 유발해서 상대도 분명히 실수를 하기 때문에 그 실수를 이용해서 오늘도 우리도 좋은 결과를 만들어내 보겠습니다. 아주 크게 다친 건 아닌데 파이널 라운드 가야지만 경기에 나설 수 있을 것 같아요. 그리고 대체 선수는 우리가 센터백들이 좀 있기 때문에 충분히 대체했다고 생각하고 있습니다. 저희 선수들이 경기장에 나가는 마음가짐에 대해서 먼저 얘기를 했고요. 그 마음가짐들이 같이 소통하고 공유를 했기 때문에 그것이 운동장에서 나온다 그러면 오늘 용병들을 꽁꽁 묶을 수 있을 거라고 생각합니다.
Well, another evening of K-League football awaits us. Round 32 continues with our featured match. Defending champions Jeonbuk Hyundai Motors versus a Seongnam side that look destined for the drop. Both sides have much ground to make up, though, if they're going to finish the season happy. Jeonbuk are 7 points behind Ulsan with just 6 more games to play after this. And Seongnam are also 7 points behind second from bottom, Kimcheon. Remember, the bottom club goes down automatically to K-League 2. And while Seongnam have lost their last 2, they did beat Ulsan, the leaders, 3 rounds ago. That did a favour to Jeonbuk, even if they weren't able to fully take advantage with their own form. They ended a period of 3 straight draws and a defeat before that with a victory last time, an emphatic victory, 5-0 away at Daegu, and Jeonbuk are unchanged from that stunning result and performance to go with it. If we go through the starting 11, we find Cho Kyu-sung leading the line. He returned from military service to make a real impact in that Daegu game. Even if he didn't score personally, it was Shimoda Barrow scored twice, so did Han Gyo-won on either flank, really contributing. Park Jin-sup also popped up with a goal from defence. They are still without their defender and key player at the back in Hong Jung-ho, a real leader. But Kang Sang-sik has a bit of a smile on his face. If we just wait for the coin toss, we'll see how Seongnam are going to line up in a moment. I can tell you that it's not looking like their strongest lineup, and in fact, you fear for them in a game like this against a Jeonbuk side that's in red-hot form with a 5-0 victory behind them, whatever came before it. 9 full changes after losing 4-0 at home to Gangwon on Saturday. No Faisal Mulic, their top scorer with 6, drops off the bench. Kim Min-hyuk will lead the line. Normally in midfield, he'll wear the captain's armband as well. Kang Jae-woo is in on the left wing, An Jin-bum on the right. Lee Jae-won and Yang Shi-woo and Lee Shi-young all in across the midfield. The defence is entirely changed, so is the goalkeeper. Caretaker manager Chung Kyung-ho, while he started out his reign with 2 wins, including against Ulsan, now 2 defeats on the bounce, and Seongnam have gone back to the way they were playing, and hopes of a great escape fading with those results. Jeonju World Cup Stadium during their difficult patch recently, including a draw against FC Seoul, drew boos from the home crowd and calls for the resignation of manager Kim Sang-sik. But one big win and suddenly the atmosphere changes somewhat. Wearing the captain's armband for Jeonbuk. Jeonbuk playing in black, if that wasn't already apparent. Not in their usual green, although black has been their usual kit of late. Special edition, and Seongnam are well known for their black strip, the Magpies, but they change into the white with a little bit of black trim. obvious signs of protest still being held up behind the goal. And I think for the Jeonbuk fans, they've gotten so used to victory after victory after victory in the league. This is their pursuit of a 6th straight title, which would be extending their own record. The idea of second best and being 7 points behind also at this stage of the season. It had been 10 points before the turnaround of results last weekend. Well, it's just not something that's palatable to them. So Jeonbuk playing left to right as you look on. Goalkeeper Seongnam takes his time. They are slow starters, both teams are. Most of Jeonbuk's goals come in the last half hour of a game. Well over 60% in the second half. And as I said, more than half once you get into that final 30. Seongnam are also a team that score more of their goals in the second half, so perhaps we can expect a bit of caginess in the opening stages. The thing that Jeonbuk did really well against Daegu, though, is they didn't waste too much time. They looked like they had a certain level of intensity right from the off. Daegu couldn't deal with it. And it would seem like a wise move if they bring that to the table again tonight. Otherwise, Seongnam might just grow in belief, and who knows. Yoo-In-soo back from military service, runs it out of play. There's another player as well for Seongnam back from the military. That's Yeon Jae-un on the bench. He was part of the defensive trio that was all dropped after the 4-0 defeat to Gangwon last time. Kang Jae-woo running out of space, and Jeonbuk with Jo Kyu-sung trying to make his way through, wearing number 10. He's one of the league's top scorers. None of his goals have been scored for Jeonbuk this year, all for Kim Chun on military service. Hyun-kyo-won inside, Baek Seung-ho. And then Kim Jin-soo will take it on. Of course, that 5-0 victory against Daegu was away from home. They need to show their home crowd they're capable of that sort of thing this season. Yellow card comes out for Seongnam skipper Kim Min-hyuk. So overstretches himself. Kyung out wide briefly to Kim Jin-soo, and then Barrow. He's stopped in his tracks by Hwang Eui-bin. We've not featured Seongnam an awful lot this year, and must confess it's difficult to have the same sort of familiarity with their lineup compared with Jeonbuk, who we've gotten to know so well in the last few years, featuring them a lot for our commentary games with the K-League English language service. But if we also consider the number of changes Seongnam make, the last time we featured Seongnam, they made 7 changes. This time they've made 9. Doesn't make for a settled squad. Doesn't build for familiarity among the players either. Jinbuk, former Incheon man. It's away, by the very experienced Park Kwon-son, but straight back again with Modo Barrow. The low cross. First half chance of the game, it was Kim Bo-kyung. Couldn't quite get on the end of it. Nice low but whipped in cross. Hall has at various stages of this season been a vital player for Jeonbuk. When he's not been fit or not been performing, it's had a knock-on effect. It's been overall a decent season for him. And he will take this corner, swinging it inwards, it's headed away. Jeolbuk keeping his place at right back despite the return of Kim Min-hwan on the bench, and I think a lot of that was about recognising the settled side that won 5-0 at Daegu. It was noted that that was also a sign of Jeonbuk's seniority, because they weren't fielding any of their under-22s. Been able to be exempted from that with youngsters on international duty. Normally, of course, the rule has been you have to field 2 under-22s during the course of the match in order to make 5 substitutes. Well, Ulsan have a difficult task this evening. They go away to Incheon. And even if we were just to get the expected 3 points from Jeonbuk and say a draw against Ulsan, how that league complexion could change. It could be cut in half, the gap between first and second from the 10 points that we had last weekend. What a difference just a couple of games can make. And we've still got, after the next round, the 5 final rounds. Still goalless at the moment between Incheon and Ulsan. Have to keep an eye on that one. There's Blue Wings at home to Pohang at 7:30 local time. Still over about 20 minutes or so to go till that one kicks off. Referee allowing a few of these challenges to go unpunished. This is not quite as bright a start for Jeonbuk as they showed against Daegu. As I said before, there was certain intensity. It was a real response from a team that had been under fire and under pressure. And that pressure will pile back on. Anything less than a victory this evening, and perhaps anything less than a convincing victory. Difficult to see how Seongnam are going to find goals with the lineup they have. They do have Manuel Palacios on the bench, who scored a couple of games ago against Suwon FC. No Mulic, who also scored in that game. Kim Min-hyuk scored against Ulsan. He is leading the line. But still, it's a big ask. Things are so bad at Seongnam that their city mayor suggested that the team might be sold. Suggesting it's wasting taxpayers' money because Seongnam FC are not getting better anytime soon. They are one of the city-owned teams, as that suggests, unlike Jeonbuk with their Hyundai Motors connection. Jeonbuk penalised for the challenge on Meng Song-ho. Good old-fashioned shoulder barge. Song-ho manages to spread the play out to Yoon Soo, and Seongnam needs to do more of that. Yu must be having a very different feeling to that man, Cho Kyu-sung, on returning from military duty, which they both did at the same time. Complaining about the linesman's decision. Han-gyo-won turns well. Kim Bo-kyung looks to take it on, but it's Kang Jae-woo who forces it away. Very scrappy. Choi Chol-soon goes down, and somewhat surprisingly, it's just going to be a throw to Seongnam. It's quite difficult to call a game involving Seongnam when they're not the team playing in black. So associated are they with that colour. On the 36-year-old at the back, the sky clearance, and it's Kim Jin-soo who'll bring it down for Jeonbuk. Out to Barrow, need to use him as much as possible. Jeonbuk, man in form, levelled the goal tally of Gustavo with his 2 goals last time. Barrow, joint top scorer behind Cho Kyu-sung. It's not a particularly pleasant game to play in if you're Jeonbuk. Seongnam might not be playing pretty football, but they are fighting for every loose ball. And they're not here to create a spectacle. They're here to play ugly by any means necessary to dig in and to pick up a result. We've got to have some belief. We've seen so many great escapes, particularly from Incheon United in the last few years. 7 points with 7 games to go. It's certainly achievable. But after tonight, it'll be down to 6 games. Gap up to Daegu in 10th is 8. Oh, there's a slight mix-up for the goalkeeper. Gets away with it, Jeonbuk. Kim Bok-young knocks it in to Baek Seung-ho. With a cross, headed back out again. For a throw to Jeonbuk. A lot of the play coming down that right-hand side for Jeonbuk. When, as I suggested earlier, they've got to be using Modo Barrow. He's looking quite isolated on that left. Barrow was the MVP of the last round. Coming up this weekend, Jeonbuk will go away from home to play the Blue Wings in the final of the regular rounds before the division splits in 2 for the final 5 rounds, and Seongnam will play Pohang at home. Barrow as well to play it inside. Kim Bok-young can't quite control it. And Cho Kyu-sung uses his strength without actually connecting with the ball, and it's bouncing around. Now a free kick to Seongnam, who have survived nearly the opening 20 minutes without conceding. Not good. Poor kick out, immediately brought down. Jeonbuk go back anyway. At least it's not pouring down with rain. Yesterday's game that we featured on Jeju Island was torrential with strong wind, but you can clearly see how the pitch has been cut up badly. Sand filling in holes. Free kick. Hyundai nursing a bump on the head. Still goalless for Incheon against Ulsan, the other big one. No surprises to see Jeonbuk with more of the ball. They've not been good enough with it so far. Kyung and Baek Seung-ho. Could be either of them from this position. It is Baek. Kim Jin-soo. And it's Barrow who's almost the beneficiary of a miss kick from Kim Jin-soo. Just couldn't react in time. First glance, anyway, it looked like a miss kick, but looking at Kim Jin-soo's expression, perhaps he managed to make a pass to Barrow look like a miss kick. You know Kim Jin-soo does like a shot at goal. Seung's attempted clearance is back out the touch for a throw. Cho Kyu-sung finds Kim Jin-soo in space. Barrow on the overlap with the cross. And it was a decent looking effort that was blocked from Baek Seung-ho, and then up! Cho Kyu-sung. Surely won't be long before he scores the first goal of his second spell with Jeonbuk, post-military service loan. He's always going to struggle to bring that down, but he wins the corner well. And Jeonbuk are facing a team that's defending in numbers, but they're finding gaps here and there. Bodes well for them in this game. Baek Seung-ho will take the corner. Too easily headed out, and again. Well, the flag ending that move. Pretty clear offside. And Gil-won must have been aware. Whatever the fans feel about the club's direction on the management side, they getting behind their players tonight. Meng Song-eun out to Barrow. Kim Jin-soo with a right-footed cross. Barrow. It's just a little too casual, that. But Jeonbuk do have it back. Kim Bo-kyung and then Kim Jin-soo. Barrow heads it in! What a goal! The man of the moment. Makes it 9 for the season. And that was certainly not casual. That was pinpoint brilliance. Wonderful header. And so much for being the team that scores all their goals in the second half. Jeonbuk showing that they are finding form, maybe at exactly the right time. Great cross from Kim Jin-soo. Barrow's left unmarked. You've got 5, 6 Seongnam players in and around the box, and none of them are marking Barrow. Completely on his own. Particularly disturbing for Seongnam is the space between the players. Bunched up. That has an impact on the league table, because suddenly the live league table shows Jeonbuk just 5 points behind Ulsan now. Even 5 points might seem a lot to some, but in the context of title races between Jeonbuk and Ulsan, it's nothing in recent years. And Jeonbuk are normally the team overtaking Ulsan at the last. Kang Jae-woo just involved in a little bit of off-the-ball antics here with Yoon Young-san of Jeonbuk. And Kang being pushed away. Seongnam, Kim Min-hyuk there, just unable to craft anything going forward at the moment. The other thing that Jeonbuk have done is they've really caught up in the goals for tally. They're now on 44 goals, Ulsan on 46. That gap had been about 7 goals last weekend. In fact, it was 7 goals because Jeonbuk had scored 5. And then they just added the extra one this evening so far. Lost 2-1 to Pohang weekend. A couple of rounds before that, they lost 2-0 to Seongnam. Might seem hard to believe on the basis of what we're seeing this evening. Baek Seung-ho's through ball, Kim Bok-young's back heel, and Cho Ki-sung just couldn't quite read it. Right. The basis of his expression, maybe they weren't reading what he wanted to do. Kim Bok-young out to Kim Jin-soo. Obvious difference between these teams is this back three that Seongnam insists on playing. Jeonbuk a much more traditional 4 back line, which overall has been their pattern in recent years and has worked well. They've changed it a couple of times when things have gone against them this year. Generally reverted back to 4. The 2 defensive-minded midfielders. Since losing Takehiro Kunemoto, it's affected the shape of their midfield as well. But Baek Seung-ho has been the consistent factor this year. Kim Bok-young, and then Barrow. Kim Bok-young has had a run in the team recently, and I think that's been to not only his benefit, but also Jeonbuk's. Young. It's Kwak Kwang-sun back across to Kang Hoi-bin. Seongnam have several players on the field who've played very lightly, including in defence and in goal. Year-old Young Shi-hoo in midfield, defender turned midfielder as well. Haven't seen much of him. More experienced An Jin-bum is the man standing over this free kick though, and a rare chance for a set piece for the Magpies. Kang Hoi-bin challenges, hooks it back over, and Barrow tries to dribble his way out of trouble. Maybe safety first, could have cleared the danger, but it's back with Jeonbuk again, Barrow. Jeonbuk find themselves in risk totally unnecessarily. It will be a Seongnam throw. Took a touch on the way through. Just looking for a spectacular finish on the volley there. Cross cannot make it past the first man, and EJ1 lifts it back in again. Jeonbuk showing their first real defensive pressure in this game. Blue Wings underway, goalless early on against Kleauge. 5 minutes into that one. Suwon World Cup Stadium. You see the defensive intervention. Jo Sung-woo knocked it out. Play. Yen. And Hangyo-won now. The ball inside for Kim Bok-young. There's always hope. Not many chances in this game, but last night was the case, and second half exploded. So Daegu fought back from 2-0 down to finish 2-2 at Jeju. Some inspiration there for Seongnam. Daegu are aside, also relegation threatened. Not quite the same extent as Seongnam. Second from bottom and third from bottom will go into relegation playoffs, whereas if Seongnam finish where they are, there'll be no hope. There'll be a K-League 2 side next season. Seongnam starting to look a little more promising. Signs of life in this Seongnam attack. Kang Jae-woo putting enough pressure on to earn the corner. Barely a shot in the Incheon-Ulsan game. One attempt each, or both off target. Son going to ground, and Park Jin-sub having a word spoken to him by the referee, who continues to look on intently. Bob's corner, just above the head of Kang Hee-bin, who was rising all the time, seemed to float in the air. Here's Barrow with a chance to break. We know he has the pace. He's got options in the middle on the left-hand side. It's Cho Gyu-sung who brings it down. Seongnam rushing back, but they could be opened up still. Now Jeonbuk slowed down so much that it's pretty much as we were in a disappointing close. This is not quite the same Cho Gyu-sung performance as we saw on his return against Daegu last time. lovely run from Meng Sung-ung. He's not done as much of that this season as he'd probably have liked. He's showing a confidence performance, but Cho Kyu-sung again just not quite where the ball needed to be for him. Sung leaves it for Han Gyo-won and back again. Trying to work those triangles down the right hand side. Manager Kim Sang-sik will be relatively happy under the circumstances to be 1-0 up. Go on to Choi Chul-sun, use the goalkeeper. Again, searching for options in the middle. Kim Min-young hanging up the front. Well, what option does Seongnam have but to attempt to break their way through? Here come Jeonbuk with Cho Kyu-sung, and then Kim Bok-young into Barrow. And Han Gyo-won, almost a trademark close range finish from him. And collected from the head of Cho Kyu-sung in the end, Choi Pil-soo. I was going to say that perhaps the worrying thing for Seongnam is that when they played Gangwon, they went in at half-time Saturday at 1-0 down. Then conceded 3 in a second half capitulation. And that was against a team that lost to FC Seoul last night, so really not a team that Seongnam should be allowing themselves to be destroyed by in that manner. Jeonbuk certainly have the talent to rip Seongnam apart in the second half if they open up. But come back to that question, what can they do? What choice do they have? They don't get anything for losing this game. And to lose it 1-0 doesn't help them much more than losing 3 or 4. Cho Kyu-sung. Well, that was a real tussle with Kwang-son. Professional defending. As we hit the 45. And just the 1 minute to add on. difficult to call, but I would say if push that we might see a few goals going Jeonbuk's way in the second half, because they've been playing very much within themselves in the first, and they'll want to put a show on for their fans. They also want to make sure a victory, up the intensity a little bit. Drifted free kick. It's going to go all the way. Seongnam throw. Past the 1 minute, so this will be it after this throw. Yoon Soo. Oh, it's got a cross goal, and Kim Jin-soo's cleared it away. No particularly decent attempts to speak of for Seongnam in that first half, but they are only 1-0 down, and you could hardly say they're out of it. Goalless elsewhere. The Blue Wings and Pohang still not even halfway through the first half of their game, but we are nearing half-time at Incheon, where Ulsan have failed to score. It's 0-0, and that one has a big bearing on Jeonbuk, so keep an eye on that as well during the second half.
자, 오늘 전주성에서 펼쳐지는 상위 스플릿전에 자, 마지막 홈경기 여러분 함께 하고 계십니다. 자, 전반전 선수의
Pohang Steelers 1-0 up now, away at the Blue Wings. Alex Grant, defender, popping up with that goal. And makes it even more important for Jeonbuk to win this, because they'll have Pohang breathing down their necks if they don't make sure of their own job. Pohang 4 points behind Jeonbuk, with Ulsan 0-0 at Incheon. The gap at the top of the table is just 5 points between Ulsan and Jeonbuk. Seongnam beat Ulsan 2-0, 3 rounds ago. Can they return a favour to Ulsan by upsetting Jeonbuk? It's not looking like it so far, but as long as the scoreline is close like this, anything could happen. Baek Seung-ho leaves it for Choi Chol-soo to run onto. Then Han Gyo-won turns inside, trying to barge his way through. Meng Song-ung chips it into no man's land. Cho Kyu-sung heading it down, and offside. Oh, that's a gift. Cho Kyu-sung, options to left and right, but shoots! It was a very decent effort, an explosive shot from Cho Kyu-sung. Got some real power behind that. Choi Chol-soo had to be alert. Pushed it wide. Didn't want to take any chances. See a slight swerve in the air. Strong hand pushes it behind. The attempted header. Park Jin-sub popped up with a goal like that against Daegu. Jo Sun-wook will get us underway again from the free kick. Jin-soo's throw off the back of Cho Kyu-sung. Barrow with a flick up and off the hand. Referee waves us on. Kim Bo-kyung. cross is straight out by Park Jun-sub. Lee Jong-ho. Park Kwon-sun to Jo Sung-ho, and then Lee Jae-won. Kim Jin-soo has Barrow as the option. What a partnership those two have been able to form. Real challenge for just about any defence in the league. It's flicked up to Jae Chul-soon, who's header in with two Jeonbuk players down, Han Gyo-won and Yoon Young-sun. Good to see them getting back up slowly. They were both flat out for a moment. The foot of Lee Jong-ho. Difficult to assess Seongnam in the second half. They've struggled to implement their attacking intentions by bringing on Gu Bon-chol and Lee Jong-ho, but also made life difficult for Jeonbuk. Neither side is looking particularly free, but Barrow gets there, and the early ball in. Jo Kyu-sung! Still Jo Kyu-sung. Han Gyo-won. Suddenly, as soon as I said it, things open up for Jeonbuk. The move is not over. Jae Chul-soon with a powered cross. If Jeonbuk can do more of that, they'll not only please the crowd, but they might just double their lead sooner rather than later. Barrow turns it out of play. Well, I guess as tricky as it might have been to control first time, you've got to shoot as soon as you're in that position. took too long with it, Jo Ki-sung. Barrow does well with the control, well enough. And inside, Kim Bo-kyung turns. This is more like it. It's more like the Jeonbuk that won 5-0 at Daegu. Moving quickly, suddenly, upping the intensity. No sooner than I was complaining that neither side was finding much of a breakthrough. Meng Sung-woo. And then Kim Bo-kyung. Through the gap! It just wouldn't fall nicely for Jeonbuk. They've got players ready to take advantage of any Seongnam slip-up. Kim Jin-soo now. Big snort. Barrow again. Seongnam struggling to get it out. Now, an option down the left-hand side. Yoo-in-soo is claiming the ball. There is Manuel Palacios, and he's going to be joined by a defender on the field, Yeon Jae-un. Lee Jae-won is making way. So too is Yang Shi-hoo. So central midfield is taken out. See how they adapt positionally. Got a corner to play with first. Chol can come in the middle and Palacios can go out to the right. It's a tough place to be for caretaker manager Chung Kyung-ho. Pohang now 2-0 up, away at the Blue Wings into stoppage time at the end of the first half. Incheon 0, Ulsan 0 in the other game. And the scoreline here means Jeonbuk still 5 points behind Ulsan as things stand. Clearances only as far as Koo Bun-chol, who has taken up that place in central midfield, but he's then brought down with protection from the referee. I said earlier Koo Bun-chol had scored earlier this season against Jeonbuk. That was the last time they met in July. In fact, it was at this stadium. Jeonbuk won 3-2. Previous match at Seongnam, Jeonbuk had won 4-0. And currently on course for a hat-trick of wins against Seongnam. The scoreline remains a little close for comfort in that regard. Jeonbuk's possession of the ball has fallen considerably from the first half. Seongnam playing it out despite all those Seongnam options waiting. Lee Jong-ho and Palacios almost stalking at the end of the box. Palacios keeps it in play. Child couldn't get there, but there are follow-up options here. Lee Si-young will put the cross in. Punched out. Barrow, good first touch. And then straight out. Han Gyo-won. Cho Kyu-sung's in the middle. Oh, off the post! Headed back into the keeper's arms. That's always the risk for Seongnam when attacking. They leave themselves exposed like this, but Jeonbuk, they've got to try to take these chances when presented. It's a deflection that nearly steered it in. Jeonbuk are yet to reach into their own changes. They have Gustavo, another forward on the bench. They've Moon Sun-min, attacking winger. They've got Kim Jin-gyu, who we know can score from midfield. Go on. Well, he keeps it in, but Cho Kyu-sung, and he had no real right to, manages to get a foot in there. Seongnam guilty of the foul on Yeon Jaeun. Yeon Jaeun's another one who's just returned from military service, having a little bit of a clash with his recent teammate Cho Kyu-sung. Park Kwang-son, and then Lee Si-young. Good turn. Kim Min-hyuk keeps that move alive, and Park Jin-sub away. Yoon-soo will have another go. And again, it's Park Jin-sub. Jeonbuk to have to be wary. We're about to enter the last 20 minutes, and Seongnam are lining up their options in and around the attacking box now. There is a change brewing. It's not one of the names I mentioned before. It's Lee Seung-gi who's going to come on for Jeonbuk. On for Kim Bo-kyung. Well, what Lee Seung-gi might lack in the same dynamism as Kim Bo-kyung might be made up for with a little composure in there at this time. Sung-hoon showing some great footwork at times tonight. Barrow's cross, Cho Kyu-sung, well, he couldn't quite control it after bringing it down. It's a great ball in to him. Seongnam yet to hit the target. Lee Si-young. And then Palacios. Pass a little too much on it to Lee Si-young. It was a nice little tussle with Barrow as another potentially attacking option comes on for Seongnam. Park Soo-il on for Lee Jong-ho, and well, you can understand the introduction of Park Soo-il, the substitution of Lee Jong-ho, a man who only just came on at half-time, is a slightly unexpected choice. Seongnam have struggled for goals though this year, just 29 scored in 31 games before this, and they've led in 59. Both counts are the worst in the league. Goal difference, that is, of -30. All stand still, goalless at Incheon. as Jeonbuk threatened to extend their lead. Barrows brought down without foul play involved, according to the referee. Young again in space, and a cross in. Oh, Jeonbuk to have to be wary. We're about to enter the last 20 minutes, and Seongnam are lining up their options in and around the attacking box now. There is a change brewing. It's not one of the names I mentioned before. It's Lee who's going to come on for Jeonbuk. On for Kim Bo-kyung. Well, what Lee might lack in the same dynamism as Kim Bo-kyung might be made up for with a little composure in there at this time. Showing some great footwork at times tonight. Barrows cross, Cho Kyu-sung. Well, he couldn't quite control it after bringing it down. It's a great ball in to him. Seongnam yet to hit the target. Young. And then Palacios. Well, pass a little too much on it to Young. It was a nice little tussle with Barrow as another potentially attacking option comes on for Seongnam. Mixing up. Scramble away, Seongnam chase forward. And credit to Seongnam. They managed to work their way into this match during the second half. Offside. Bit of a handball there, but we'll play on. Palacios. Seemed like it struck Cho Kyu-sung's arm. Han Gyo-won's still down. And then Meng Song-hoon gives away the free kick. Yellow card. And I think Meng was going to get away with that without a yellow card. Drawn rather more attention to himself with the protest. He certainly backs into Kubon Chol. And Gyo-won having had the hamstring stretched out. Looks like he's going to be replaced by Moon Sun-min. Kim Eun-hwan is also ready to go. Son across to Jo Sung-hook. Rather, in that case, Young Jae-eun. Ishiyong. Palacios. Well, the whistle blows. Slightly dramatic fall, but Barrow caught him. Let's have a look. Does leave the leg, invites the trip. And now we see the changes. Che Chol-sun and Han Gyo-won. And straight swaps. Kim Eun-hwan at right back. Moon Sun-min on the wing. Won Cho's free kick for Seongnam. It's late in the game. Still a lead that could be broken at any moment. Jeonbuk will be comforted by the knowledge that Ulsan are only 0-0 at Incheon. It stays that way, or if Ulsan lose, they will have gone 5 games with only 1 win. Crowd are certainly showing their belief in what they think is a win coming their way. Barrow lifts it up, Moon Sun-min, and it's pushed up and wide. Delivery, can't find either Moon Sun-min or Lee Seung-gi, who are lurking at the near post. So lots of space to work with now. And Barrow. Back to Kim Jin-soo. Well, was he confused by Moon Sun-min? Was he trying to find Barrow again? There'll be a free kick for Seongnam here. Tied up with Yoon Young-sun. Wonchol and Seongnam. It's up and high, and it's a header pushed wide. First proper attempt going goalward for Seongnam, and it was Yoon Soo. Kim Min-hyuk went down hurt. Rose up, using a bit of Kim Jin-soo's back as leverage. But a nervous moment for Jeonbuk. Chol successfully dispossessing Kim Jin-soo. Then it's back with Yoon Young-sun. Both teams entering a bit of a slugfest in the closing stages of this game. Sun-min turns well, uses Cho Gyu-sung, who was free, and then Barrow. Meng Song-ong leaves it. I think that's going to be a Seongnam throw. Just one more round to go in the regular season before the split, and the big questions will be in the mid-table as to who is left in the top half and who is forced down into the bottom. as things stand. It's Suwon FC holding 6th place, but just 2 points behind Gangwon. For the relegation and title battles, every game now is huge. Barrow waiting to come back on, just seemed to be nursing a little bit of a hamstring pain there. Palacios. Great performance from the left back today. Cho Kyu-sung goes down with a free kick going to Jeonbuk. Yellow card shown to Palacios. Difficult to know who was more in the wrong there, whether it was Gubanchol or Palacios. They sandwiched Cho Kyu-sung rather. Remains Incheon 0, Ulsan 0 going into stoppage time. As we also enter stoppage time in this one. Meng Sung-eun is going to be replaced, so too is Cho Kyu-sung. Gustavo and Koo Jae-ryong on, defender on. Boost that defensive strength going to the final stages, and Gustavo some fresh legs up front if they do find themselves with an option to break. Seongnam to keep the score at 1-0, to keep their hopes alive even at this stage with just under 3 minutes to go is credible. As I said earlier, losing by 1-0 doesn't necessarily help them much more than 3 or 4, other than confidence perhaps. High arm with a hint of elbow from Gustavo, first thing he's done on the pitch. Kwak Kwang-san is up again. Now Barrow finds Gustavo and play the advantage. Barrow down. Jeonbuk might have preferred to have the free kick and take their time with it. Instead, they've lost possession, and Seongnam looks to come forward again. Barrow's still down. And yet another tough challenge in the middle. It would seem that the only team that it would suit to hold back play right now would be Jeonbuk. Baek Seung-ho falling right into Kang Hee-bin. And then Palacios trying to get in. Jo Sung-ho booked for the challenge, I believe, on Barrow. 4 yellow cards going Seongnam's way in this game. Seconds remain. Can Seongnam yet find some late drama go their way? Palacios with the cross. It's headed over for a corner. Seongnam have to throw everything forward now. Chol's cross. The goalkeeper Jeonbuk Hyundai was not able to get there. Moon Sun-bin looking to take advantage. But that's it. The final whistle blows and it's 1-0 to Jeonbuk. With it finishing Incheon 0, Ulsan 0, Jeonbuk are 5 points behind in the title race. And that is half of what it was at the start of this past weekend. With 6 more rounds to go, I think we can say the title race is still very much alive. Seongnam look almost cut adrift at the bottom, if not already. Their task gets harder, but don't look away too long. K-League 1 has shown us year upon year that you never quite know until we get into those final rounds.
이제 우리 동생전 차지는 선우와 5점 차지라 남은 경기 팬 여러분들의 응원으로 챔피언의 자리에 올라갈 수 있도록 우리 동생전 차지에 뜨거운 응원의 목소리 부탁드립니다.
So what do you think about today's winning?
Sorry?
What do you think about today's winning?
Yeah, it's important to win, especially for the home fans. We had 2 home games. It was difficult. We could not take 3 points, but at least today we take 3 points for the team, which is important for the last games. And now we are happy for the home fans because they've been supporting us a long time. 2 games now we didn't get win at home, but we give this win for the fans today.
네, 일단 오늘 그 홈 팬들 앞에서 승점 3점을 딸 수 있어서 기쁘게 생각을 하고요. 그리고 이제 경기가 많이 안 남았는데 경기를 이길 수 있어서 기쁘게 생각을 하고 있습니다.
관중 여러분, 이제 상위 스파링까지 총 6경기가 남았습니다. 선두와의 단 5점 차. 우리 녹색 전사들에게
I mean, I'm playing like the way I always play, but
부탁드립니다.
I mean, like we are working hard in training as team. You know, we are trying to fight the last games, and everybody is giving everything in the team. Not only me, you know, all the players. So that's the most important for me, that the team is winning. Doesn't matter if it's one player or two players who score the goals.
일단 뭐 저만 잘한다고는 생각을 하진 않고요. 가장 최근에도 뭐 평소랑 똑같이 경기를 했다 생각하고, 지금 모든 선수들이 다 최선을 다해서 경기를 하고 있기 때문에 그 팀적으로 움직이는 게 가장 중요한 거라고 생각을 합니다.
I mean, of course, Ulsan is in front of us. We have to fight all the games to win. But we just need to concentrate on our own games to take points every game. And then we will see at the end. But the important thing is we have to fight and try to win all our games.
네, 일단 울산이 뭐 저희보다 앞서고 있는 거는 분명한 사실이고, 이제 남은 경기는 저희들이 전부 이겨야 하기 때문에 이제 모든 경기를 이기고 끝에 가서 결과를 보면 알 것 같습니다.
No, I can only say thank you to them because they are always here cheering us up, supporting us every game. I know it's been a little difficult at home that we could not give them wins that they could make them happy, but today we give them victory, and I can only say thanks for always supporting us.
네, 팬분들께 항상 감사하다는 말밖에 할 말이 없는 것 같고요. 올해 홈에서 많이 경기를 못 이겼던 부분도 사실인데 오늘 이렇게 경기를 이길 수 있어서 기쁘게 감사의 말을 전할 수 있게 돼서 기쁩니다. So congratulations for the today's win.
Yes, 감사합니다. Thank you.